Welcome. This is a public meeting as required by the Planning Act to provide an opportunity to provide input with respect to a proposed minor variance at 203 Willow Street in the municipality of Central Elgin. Does any member of the committee have a disclosure of interest concerning this proposal? Seeing none. Ms. Leach, what method of notice and when was the notice given to the public for this meeting, please?
Mr. Chair, as per requirements of the Planning Act, notice was mailed by regular post to every owner of land within 60 meters of the subject land and applicable agencies on December 10th, 2024. Notice was physically posted to the property by municipal staff, and notice was also posted to the municipal website.
Thank you. The applicant, I believe, is here. Did you wish to speak, sir? Okay, if you'd come forward, please. And if you could just state your name and when you turn the mic on, please.
Yep.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, councilors, and others. My name is Mark Brown. I'm from 203 Willow Street. We want to confirm that our application for a minor variance for the replacement and reconstruction of our existing front porch stairs at 203 Willow Street. We stress that the variances being requested have not changed from our original application, which was before the Committee of Adjustment at their meeting on November 25th, 24. We are of the opinion that the meeting that was held on November 25th, 24 satisfies Section 45 and subsection 6 of the Planning Act, where the committee is to hold a statutory public meeting. I would confirm that there were no members of the public online virtually to speak to our application, nor were there any members of the public in attendance to speak to our application. We are not aware of any written concerns submitted to the municipality prior to the November 25th, 24 public meeting. And Ms. Leach, the secretary, confirmed that the municipality had not received any written submissions. Mayor Sloan solicited the committee for any further questions for the applicant. There were no questions from the committee, and as a result, Mayor Sloan, as chair, made the following statement, and I quote, seeing none, everyone has been given fair opportunity to be heard. Is the committee prepared to make a decision or reserve its decision? Councilor Graham then made the following statement, and I quote, I'd like to defer this application. There has been some questions as some items from the public that have arisen, and I'd like to give staff opportunity to address them, please. Mayor Sloan then called the committee vote, and I quote, I do believe Mr. Craig, Mr. Sloan, we have a deferral on the table to a future meeting pending staff consideration. The committee then voted in favor of the deferral. On December 9th, 2024, my partner Carol and I, we called Councilor Graham and we asked her, we said, what were the concerns or the questions pertaining to the meeting that night? And she said to us that she did not say anything. Now, on the tape of the meeting, she does say that that's what she said, what I repeated earlier, right? So anyway, on December 16th, 2024, Carol contacted the senior planning technician, Steve Craig, the author of the staff report, to inquire as to the concerns that were raised by the public and if planning staff were aware of any concerns. Mr. Craig stated he was not aware of any concerns or questions and that he had not been contacted by Central Elgin staff. I do believe Mr. Craig contacted Central Elgin to see if any changes were required, and he was told no. As of tonight's meeting, neither Carol or I have ever been advised of the concerns with respects to our variance application. We still have no information what that's about for the construction of the existing porch. This is unfortunate because if the Councilor Graham would have made concerns known to us, we might have been able to do something about it. So I guess to summarize, our application has not changed since submitting the application in November, and the Committee of Adjustment held its statutory public meeting November 25th, 2024. The meeting held November 25th, 2024 satisfies the requirements of the Planning Act, and no public concerns or questions were raised in that meeting or conveyed to us as the applicants. As of 6 p.m. tonight, January 13th, 25, we are still not aware of any questions with respect to our application. It's clear from the recorded record of the meeting on November 25th, 2024, The committee deferred their decision on our current application, and we would submit that no further public meetings or questions should be addressed or entertained tonight, and that the committee decision this evening should be based on the staff report and the concerns or questions that were made public at the statutory meeting on the 25th of November, 2024. We are concerned that a new sign was posted on our front lawn and a new notice was circulated to abutting landowners at tonight's meeting, as it would suggest that tonight's meeting is a new public meeting for the same application. These actions are misleading and contrary to the Planning Act, as our application has not changed, and this is further confirmed by the fact that Senior Planning Technician Steve Craig's staff report, dated the 25th, 2024, is on the agenda for the committee's consideration with no new information provided on it. Finally, it's up to our understanding that for a committee to deny an application, that one of the 4 tests to be considered by the committee cannot be met. We would submit that Mr. Craig's report confirms that the 4 tests to grant a minor variance can be met by our application. Specifically for our application, the proposed reconstruction of the deck conforms to the intent of the official plan. The proposed reconstruction of the deck conforms to the intent of the zoning bylaw, and the proposed reconstruction of the deck and variance requests are desirable for the appropriate development of the land. We want to stress that the requested variance will be facilitated in the reconstruction and the expansion of the existing legal non-compliant front stairs and deck, which predated the zoning bylaw. The proposed deck and stairs should be considered minor in nature, as the new deck and the new stairs will not be as close as what exists now to the northerly and southerly border. Also, we would submit that the existing house north of our property is closer to the road than we are, and that would result from construction of the existing deck. Thank you.
No, thank you. I appreciate that. Very thorough presentation, and I appreciate that, Mr. Brown. We don't have any written submissions on the proposal, Ms. Leach, correct?
Mr. Chair, there are no written submissions on the proposal.
Anyone online?
Mr. Chair, I see no online attendees.
Council, any questions? Councillor Griffin.
Thank you, through you, Mr. Mayor. Has any member of council received anything that was maybe not forwarded to the council at large? It seems as though there was a discussion about there having been conversation that Mr. Brown's not aware of. I'm wondering if anybody had, say, a member of the public accidentally only emailed to one address or anything.
I'm not, to me, I'm not sure if Ms. Leach has any information that she'd like, but I'm not that I'm aware of. Okay. And everyone has been provided a fair opportunity to be heard. All those in favor of the decision? Opposed? And that carries. Those wanting to be notified of the committee's decision on any application should contact the municipality. This public meeting is adjourned at 6:10 p.m. Thank you. This is a public meeting as required by the Planning Act to provide an opportunity to provide input with respect to a proposed minor variance at 45118 Talbot Line in the municipality of Central Elgin. Does any member of the committee have a disclosure of interest concerning this proposal? Seeing none. Ms. Leach, what method of notice and when was the notice given to the public for this meeting, please?
Mr. Chair, as per requirements of the Planning Act, notice was mailed by regular post to every owner of land within 60 meters of the subject land and applicable agencies on December 10th, 2024. Notice was physically posted to the property by municipal staff, and notice was also posted to the municipal website.
Is the applicant in attendance or wish to come forward? That's fine. Any questions or comments from council having a look at the information here? Okay, Ms. Leach, I take it there's no one online?
Mr. Chair, confirming there are no online attendees.
And no one else in the gallery wishes to make any further comment or questions? All those in favor? Opposed? And that's carried. Thank you. Those wanting to be notified of the committee's decision on any application should contact the municipality. This public meeting is adjourned at 6:11 p.m. Thank you. This is oh, sorry. The following is, I have a disclosure of pecuniary interest because I have a business relationship with one of the owners of 44828 Fruit Ridge Line, and I'll pass the chair over to Deputy Mayor. Thank you.
Good evening. This is a public meeting as required by the Planning Act to afford any person an opportunity to make a representation with respect to a proposed zoning bylaw amendment respecting 44828 Fruit Ridge Line, Municipality of Central Elgin. Does any member of council have a disclosure of pecuniary interest on this proposal? Besides the mayor? Okay, seeing none. Ms. Leach, what method of notice was given and when was the notice given to the public for this meeting?
Mr. Deputy Mayor, as per requirements of the Planning Act, notice was mailed by regular post to every owner of land within 120 meters of the subject land and applicable agencies on December 11th, 2024. Notice was physically posted to the property by municipal staff, and notice was also posted to the municipal website.
Have you received any written submissions on the proposal?
Mr. Deputy Mayor, I have not.
Mr. McClure, did you want to speak to this?
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Yeah, so this will be a presentation of the draft zoning bylaw amendment for 44828, sorry, Fruit Ridge Line. So as can be seen on the screen, the subject lands are on the north side of Fruit Ridge Line. It is a pretty standard zoning bylaw amendment to permit a residence, in relation to a residence surplus to a farm operation. So the prohibition for the new dwelling on the retained lands is part of the zoning bylaw amendment, and then the severed parcel is essentially just going to permit the existing rural residential use. So this is the severance that was approved by the Elgin County Land Division Committee. So that's the lands and the portion that's to be remaining in that rural residential use. And then this is the amendment itself. So part one of the amendment introduces Schedule A to the bylaw, being map part 45H. And then part two of the amendment designates the lands in hatched lines on Schedule A as OS 1-241. So you can see the hatched area is the area that's to be severed and then zoned for that rural residential use. And then later on, you'll see the remainder of the lands is to stay in agricultural use and prohibit a new dwelling to be constructed. So part three of the amendment introduces a new subsection to the OS1 section of the bylaw, being 8.2.2.241. Identifies that area on map part 45H as that OS 1-241, provides that the only permitted uses are the rural residential use, home occupations, accessory uses, and then provides only permitted buildings and structures that are single detached dwelling accessory structures, and then provides exceptions to those specific provisions in the OS1 zone, again, dealing with the uses in buildings to address what's on the screen. Then a new subsection is introduced after that subsection, being 8.2.2.242, which then goes back to that non-hatched area on that map, being OS 1-242, provides that the only permitted uses are the farm use and the accessory uses, and then only permitted building structures being buildings and structures, but no farm buildings and structures, but no dwelling shall be permitted, and then accessory uses and structures. Again, providing exceptions to the general provisions of the OS1 zone to only allow for those uses. And then part six of the amendment introduces Schedule B to the bylaw, being the consolidated map part, zoning map 45, that has all of the changes that were introduced through this zoning bylaw amendment and any previous amendments that have occurred on that map part, which can be seen on the screen here. Thank you.
Thank you, Calvin. Does any member of the public have any questions? Ms. Leach, is there anyone online?
Mr. Deputy Mayor, there are no online attendees.
Does any member of council have any questions? Okay. If there is no further questions, please be advised that any person wishing further information on the action of council regarding, no, do we have to have a vote? No? Okay, sorry. Any council regarding the passing of a bylaw on the proposed amendment should email info@centralalgon.org indicating which public meeting they wish to be notified on and provide their name and address. Those who do not have access to a computer and wish to be notified should call 519-631-4860 and provide the same information. Any amendment to the bylaw will be considered at a future meeting of council. Thank you very much.